Yep, we're talking about Code Veronica. Now, it's one of the ones I've only ever played through twice. So, I played through it once about 15 years ago. I did enjoy it, but I felt there were parts of it that's kind of weird compared to other Resident Evil games. And then I decided recently to jump back and play through it on stream. It was kind of a blind playthrough because I had forgotten a lot of the later game. Surprisingly, I remembered a lot of the start of the game. But it's still kind of weird. There's just these moments that just make it kind of a bit creepier than other Resident Evil games. It's fucking creepy though, the way they go.
Oh, I need those. Give them to me.
You gotta be kidding. I found it and I'm keeping it.
Have it your way then.
Wait for it. It's so cringe. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the game. It's just, like I said, a little bit creepy. There are a lot of things I do like about the game though. Combat system is fun. The camera angles kind of move with you, but it's still got that kind of classic survival horror Resident Evil feel to it. I like the fact that you have to be conscious about your inventory and stuff like that. So, because you play as Claire and Chris, if you give everything to Claire, there's nothing left for Chris in the box. When you switch over characters to Chris's part, for example, you don't have anything for him, and that can be quite fatal. I find the zombies are quite hard as well, especially the ones at the start, as you can see in the background now. I tried to be cocky and knife them, but they kicked my ass pretty quickly. Get away from me! Ah! Nope. Nope! I'm dead. Yeah, what? Okay, fine. The thing I find most bizarre about Code Veronica is some of the characters. Like, they're really quirky and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you've got characters like Steve who just seem to, like, they're trying a little bit too hard to make him like a standout character. And the same with Alfred and Alexia. Alexia's cool, but I just find Alfred overall a little bit too creepy. It's nothing to do with the cross-dressing thing. I just find, like, when you see him and he's doing the girl voice but he looks like himself, it's kind of creepy. And that hasn't aged well, I think. Don't get me wrong, Steve does kind of redeem himself to me the further you play through the game. The bit where he has to, spoilers, kill his undead father, so technically he has to kill his dad again. When I was a kid, and I played that before, I didn't really have any feelings for that, but now I'm older, you kind of feel sorry for him. It's a really tough situation for him, and, you know, if you had to do that, you'd probably be like him too. One thing I like about Code Veronica is it has this really, like, kind of quirky identity. It's coming obviously after Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, and it's only set 2 months after the Raccoon City incident. But it still feels very, very unique compared to, say, like Resident Evil 2 and 3, which in a lot of instances are very samey. Bear in mind, I think that's to do with the fact that this was on PS2, and obviously PS2 is a lot more powerful than PS1, so they were kind of experimenting with the new technology. But it comes across as a more unique Resident Evil for that time period. I like the fact you switch between Chris and Claire at a couple of different points in the game. I think it's kind of fun, and like I said earlier, you also have to watch your item management, because if you give everything to Claire and you don't save anything for Chris, it makes it a lot tougher for Chris. It is really cool to see them finally together. Bear in mind, this is the first time you actually see Chris and Claire together in the entire Resident Evil series, and I think it's one of the only times still. It's really, really cool, and they're both really fun, strong characters. I think this version of Chris might be one of my favorites. I'm not super big fan of Claire, although I do quite enjoy Claire's performance in this, but Chris takes the cake for me. He is my favorite character, so I am going to be a little bit biased, but yeah, he's just really badass in this, and it's definitely got a early 2000s feel, which definitely lends to the game, but it also dates it too. Fuck you, bitch, fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, bitch. Fucking right. Go, Chris, go. Yeet. Wesker literally doesn't have any fucking... He's literally got superpowers. It's crazy.
Hadouken!
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. He like proper fucking lays Chris out.
Chris!
Hey, you know that I always keep my promises.
Now, if that doesn't scream 90s/early 2000s action movie, I don't know what does. But it's not a bad thing. It's kind of cheesy and kind of quirky, but Code Veronica in general is actually a really fun game. It's one of the longer and harder Resident Evil games from that era, but I loved that. I think it was great. I actually had no ammo at one point for most of my guns, and I had to then switch back to the knife to knife other enemies such as the Bandersnatchers. And they're not fun to knife, they're not even that fun to shoot. But overall, I think this is a Resident Evil that people should play. It hasn't aged as well as some of the others, like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 OG. I feel they've just aged a lot better. But that's kind of my attempted funny and just kind of mini review on Code Veronica. I always recommend it, you guys should play it. If you can get your hands on the original PS2 and the PS2 copy, I'd do it. It's a great game and you'll have a fun time. And you'll also probably be swearing at your screen. This is it, guys. This is Simba's Dim Gaming. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you've played Code Veronica or if this hopefully sways your decision to play it, because it's well worth it. And I'll see you in the next one.